5 o'clock. I will call the meeting of the Waxahachie Independent School District Board of Trustees to order. Please let the record show that all 7 trustees are in attendance tonight. And as this meeting has been duly called and the notice of this meeting has been duly posted for time and manner required by law. At this time, we will go into closed session according to section 551.001 exsec of the Texas Government Code. It is now 5 p.m. It is now 5:37. We're going to reconvene back into open session. At this time, I want to ask Mr. Rogers to lead us in our invocation, followed by Lillian Rickman, a fifth grader at Wyman, will lead us in our U.S. flag pledge, and the Pledge of Texas flag will be led by Nadia White, an eighth grade at Howard. Mr. Rogers?
All right, let's pray. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you so much for all the blessings that we enjoy, especially the ability to come and meet like this in this room with the public and our staff and administrators, and just help us to have our focus remain on making decisions that are best for our kids. Be with us tonight, and as we go on our way home, keep us safe. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Rickman?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
We're going to go a little out of order tonight. We're going to skip over our recognitions. We'll come back to them around 6 o'clock. At this time, will be our open forum session. I don't believe we have anyone signed up to speak. Is that correct, Bridges? Okay, moving along, be item number 6 will be our consent agenda, where we have items A through J. As you know, we can take these as individual motions, all in one motion, or if there's one in particular you'd like to remove, let me know how the board would like to move forward.
Mr. President, I move that we approve consent item agendas A through J.
Motion by Ms. Starnader, is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Ms. Kriegel. Is there any other discussion? Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Motion carries 7-0. Okay, item number 7 will be our informational report. Item A, did you say it? Nice report? Nisei, how you say it?
Nice.
Nice report, okay.
Mr. President, we're going to have Dustin Beneker and Melissa Abity are going to come forward and give an update on our work with NICE, the National Institute of Science Education. And our district has been doing a lot of work with NICE, and it's really good work. And so I'm excited for them to get to update you on that.
Good evening, board. Thank you all very much. So once we get the slide up here, hopefully we can get the slide, so you'll know what I'm talking through. There we go. All right, so just to get a bit of an overview for you guys before we go into the report, it's a lot of information. A lot of work has gone on behind the scenes, and I was joking earlier today, like the scene from The Wizard of Oz, never mind the man behind the curtain. This is the woman behind the curtain. So I'll give you a brief overview at the beginning of this. So in 2024, TEA will release the Texas STEM Framework. WISD is ahead of the curve because we started this back in 2017. And so districts and campuses across the state are working to get ahead of this framework that's coming out from the state. And one of the things that we've done here is started this path with STEM education earlier than most districts have. And we are able to receive a district and campus distinctions in the area of STEM education as soon as the state offers the first rounds of distinction opportunities in 2024. As we see the new upcoming phase of the STAR tests and we learn more about the upcoming changes to the science TEKS, it's clear that TEA truly values and champions STEM education in all classrooms to prepare our students for an ever-evolving future outside of school. So TEA defines STEM education as a method of hands-on teaching and learning where students learn to apply academic content by creatively solving real-world problems with innovative design-based thinking to prepare students for future career opportunities.
And then throughout WIC, you'll probably see the effects of STEM education up to this point when you're on campuses in our STEM makerspace areas at our WIC STEAM Expo, where all campuses are represented for their work in that area, with robotics tied to content in classrooms and through project-based learning. I also think you will say that, you've seen that along the way somewhere, but what we want to talk about tonight is some of the things that you might not know or might not see on a daily basis, because there's a lot of work going on behind the scenes at this time on all campuses as a district level as well. So we are partnering with the National Institute of STEM Education to nurture a culture of continual improvement in our district to work on our teaching practices for learning and teaching. And so when we look at STEM education, a lot of people think that it's truly just science, technology, engineering, and math, and it's siloed in that area. But what we know now and what TEA is guiding us towards is that STEM education truly goes beyond that textbook definition, and it's more of a mindset of education today. And what we're looking to get to is that student learning and student success at the highest level of excellence that we can. And so we're taking this route. So STEM education fosters that culture of collaboration between the disciplines of content and between teachers and students. The key components to this learning environment are voice and choice, movement, and high engagement. STEM education champions that active learner in the classroom. It's about changing classrooms from being more teacher-centered to more student-centered, where students are actually driving those learning opportunities, and our teachers are that important facilitator of just-in-time teaching when needed. STEM education encourages creativity and innovation. It empowers students to become problem solvers in our world and inspires them to even reimagine how they can view themselves moving forward. It's about developing that growth mindset for our kids and for our staff together. STEM education produces problem solvers and makers, and we know that makers are the ones who dream big, who take risks, and who embrace challenges, and that's what we want to see in our classrooms. So we're looking to get the STEM education piece throughout every classroom for all students in our district, because when we get to that level, people are hungry to find the solution for problems, and we all know that that's a good learning environment for all kiddos.
So WISD partnered with Texas A&M Spark and the National Institute for STEM Education to provide a solid foundation as we prepared to open Wyman STEAM Academy. So all staff members at the campus participated in a week-long professional development with Spark, and they completed their national certificate for STEM teaching during the first year that Wyman opened over there. I had a colleague who was actually sending me pictures from this in 2019. I was 2 hours down the road in another district. He was sending me pictures of the celebration that was happening. Might have been a couple of you at that celebration. It was just amazing to see the number of people in this room, and you could feel the energy from looking what was happening, and teachers getting recognized, and the campus being recognized, the district being recognized. So that year, the campus completed their first year for that national certificate. They were actually one of 22 campuses to earn the National Certificate for STEM Education nationwide.
Okay, and so we're working with the National Institute of STEM Education for 3 different areas in our district currently. That's the teacher level, the campus level, and the district level. At the teacher level, in this green shaded box, the NCST is a competency-based, coach-led professional learning opportunity that guides participants to the development of a portfolio that demonstrates proficiency in 15 STEM teacher actions. That includes 38 indicators for best teaching practices. For each indicator, all the participants learn, self-reflect, make and support a claim, and then refine that specific strategy in their own classroom or at their campus. These indicators layer upon each other, providing a strong foundation for all staff members to put forth that focus to center our classrooms on instruction. These participants earning their NCST will do so in 1 school year. And in 2024, if we stay on our projected path and plan, we'll have approximately 315 teachers who will have earned that NCST at that time. Next, we have the campus level, which is referred to as NCSE for National Certificate for STEM Excellence. And this recognizes schools for their commitment to and growth in teachers' implementation of 21st century and STEM strategies. The NCSE supports reflection and action around 3 areas. That's the plan, implement, and sustain efforts. I partner with each campus administrator and our STEM NICE coach, and we work together to make sure that this work is completed as a team. Step by step, we intentionally learn about the campus, breaking that down into layers for the processes and procedures that it takes to have teaching and learning happen on a daily basis. We set goals and action plans, and then we increase that effectiveness of the campus level success for student and learning by working together through this process. This process of the NCSE takes 3 years. At the end of 2024, WISD is projected to have 8 campuses who have earned their NCSE. Currently, Wyman has already earned theirs. This school year, we have Findlay, Coleman, and Howard earning theirs, along with Marvin Elementary. WHS and unnamed campus 7 and 8 are in the future to come. At the last shaded darker blue area, that is our NCSED, the National Certificate of STEM Excellence at the district level. This is a professional learning process that equips the district to better prepare its graduates for post-secondary education or opportunities. In 2019, WISD established our STEM leadership team, which is comprised of 19 members, including assistant superintendents, executive directors, coordinators, and principals. The first year, this team worked together to determine the specific needs of our district on how to improve on student opportunities. Surveys, interviews, campus visits, classroom visits, and data digs were all done together with NICE to determine what our biggest priority needs were. Our district was deemed that we have 16 areas of priority need, and through that, we were able to focus those areas into 2 pathways of leadership and instructional strategies. So together, the team and NICE, we have created 2 goals for each of those pathways, and then we have action plans in place for each of the goals. So this school year, we will complete our work on those goals, move over into the other areas of the 16 needs, and we'll continue to have that cycle go on and on until those needs are met as we're moving forward.
So this last slide here just shows you the timeline. So you can see that we started this, working towards this as a district in 2017, as I mentioned previously. And this takes us up to the year 2024-25. So with the efforts of our forward-thinking STEM leadership team, Ms. Abity, her department, and the supportive district leaders we have across the campuses, partnering with all campus stakeholders, this will result in a school culture that encourages and nurtures continual improvement across the board. We're working to ensure that we're offering our students the best possible learning outcomes and the best possible experience we can give them.
One thing I want to just add is that while this information does focus on STEM education, this is just really good instructional practice. Something that we've actually shared with all of our principals during our learning leader time. It's been very, very well received. Great work, y'all.
Thank you. Okay, so at this time, we're going to go back to item number 4, which will be our recognitions. Ms. Bridges?
Good evening, board. First this evening, I'd like to invite Kate Authier, principal of Wyman STEAM Academy, to come up.
Try not to touch anything. Good evening, Dr. Hollingsworth and board. I'm honored to recognize our WSA October Staff Spotlight, Miss Debbie Davis. Yay! Ms. Davis has been an integral part of Wyman since we opened in 2018. Her leadership, innovative ideas, and passion for creating an engaging and high-quality environment for all of our students and families is amazing. She strives to connect our students to our local community through various outreach projects and field trips. She has led the flag crew at Wyman, which Lillian was a part of that did our pledge today, consisting of 34 4th and 5th grade students, brought in guest speakers, and held fundraisers for Patriot Paws to raise money for veterans in need of service dogs. She strives to instill a love, respect, and passion for our country and the flag. She has led the flag crew at Wyman and previously at Felty for 10 years. She was recently recognized by the Daughters of the American Revolution, a partner with the Flag Crew, with the Distinguished Citizens Medal. In only 4 years, she's done the following. So get ready, because it will make you tired when you listen to it. She's took the entire student body to paint a mural at the Optimus Fields, held an art show at HEB during COVID last year, put together over 400 art kits for students to have at home during the COVID shutdown, led our specials team, participated in a variety of campus leadership committees, planned family nights and art shows, created annual storybook experiences for our students, guided students in creating artwork to be displayed at the Fort Worth Stock Show and Rodeo, and took our students on a field trip to see their work, taken students on adventures with Winnie, it's her alter ego, through classroom transformations and experience in her classroom, and painted all of the beautiful murals and quotes on the walls of our Wyman building. She is currently planning a patriotic march with our entire student body, another mural painting at the Optimus Fields, as well as participating in planning our spring arts night. We are very thankful that Ms. Davis calls Wyman home and could not imagine it without her. Thank you, Ms. Davis. And now I'd like to introduce our Mr. Green, who's a fifth grade teacher at Wyman, and he was our September staff spotlight at Wyman this year too. So he's an awesome educator.
All right. Good evening, board. First off, I'd like to thank you for allowing me to share about one of the many wonderful things happening at Wyman. The Wyman Community Garden is truly a community garden. It started when the school opened with the donation of 6 wooden boxes from the Ellis County Master Gardeners and 2 truckloads of dirt donated by the Independent Order of Odd Fellows. 4 years later, we now have 27 raised beds with future plans to expand. We started with a 2-part vision. The first was that all grade levels would become involved in the growing, harvesting, and maintenance of the garden. Today, every classroom has their own raised bed, giving every student the opportunity to be involved in the gardening process. The second part of our vision was that we would donate to families in need within our Waxahachie community. Last year was the first year that we were able to harvest enough to help a local family through the fall and winter months. Many community members have fallen in love with this vision and have continued to help us. Without the help from the Wyman PTO, the Avenue Church, the Greenery, and countless parents and community members, this project would have never grown into what it is today. We have big plans as we move forward. With the help of our amazing librarian, Glenna Reisner, we have recently received a grant that will allow us to expand our gardening indoors through the engineering of a hydroponic growing system. This system will be prominently displayed for all students and visiting community members to experience. As we continue to expand our vision, we have high hopes that one day we'll become involved with our local Waxahachie Farmers Market. Ultimately, all proceeds from that endeavor will go towards strengthening our community through charitable acts. There have been many lessons learned since this journey began, and we hope that our efforts will continue to impact the community in a positive manner. We invite you to visit our garden, as our students would love to take you on a tour and tell you all about it. Thank you. And I think we have like a quick 30-second video.
And Mr. Green was the visionary behind the garden, just so you know.
Well,
All started with him. All started with him.
I was voluntold. Oh. Oh, no. Uh-oh. Oh, well. No.
Joe went back there.
jokes. Hey. Just thinking about it. Hey. All right.
Thank y'all so much. I'd like to invite Dr. Cavazos from Howard up.
Did you get the video I sent over? No? Maybe next time. Hey, so for those of you that ever been an administrator, you know that one of the most important things, or one of the best things that you can do is hire great staff, right? And an administration is really as good as its office staff, and your office can make or break your administration and your school. I mean, they're the face of the organization. They're the first ones that people see. They're the ones that people talk to on the phone. You know, sometimes as principals, we're 3 or 4 connections away before, you know, we actually speak to that parent. So I know that we have one of the best secretaries in the district, definitely one of the best secretaries that I've ever worked for. If you've never had to get subs ready for a day, you don't, I'm sorry? Worked with? Hey, look, I mean, I guess let's call it what it is, right? She runs the office and I'm part of the office staff. But if you've never put together a sub schedule in the morning, if you've never tried to make sure the classes are covered, if you've never tried to make sure that teachers had everything that they needed to have a successful day, I don't think we really understand the pressure and the importance of the people in our office. And Gina Favaro does an amazing job of getting our day ready, getting our day started. Her day starts way before ours does, and she ensures that our kids have everything that they need for the day, everything that the teachers need for the day, and definitely everything that I need for the day so that we're successful and that we can have a great day at school. So Gina is our Employee of the Month for October at Howard. And I have told Gina on many occasions, if she tries to leave me, I'll slash her tires so she can't go. Hey, so a couple things that we do at Howard. How do I? Oh, okay. We can go to the next slide then. So one of the things that we do at Howard is that we call it being Howard Brave. So if you ever come onto our campus, you may hear about us being Howard Brave, and it's an acronym. It stands for Believe in Yourself, Radiate Kindness, Accept Responsibility, Visualize Success, and Embrace Your Community. You know, we're really trying to raise that whole kid on campus. We really want those people that are invested. We want our students to be invested in Howard, be invested in their education, really take ownership, not just for who they are as a student, but who they are as a citizen. So we call it Being Howard Brave. We ask our teachers and staff members and really other students to give us Being Howard Brave nominations. So if you see a student that stays after to clean up the cafeteria, you know, you see a kid drop his books and someone stops to help him, we ask that those teachers and those staff and those students let us know so that we can give those students a shout out just for being Howard Brave. So if you're ever on our campus and you happen to see a student who's doing one of these things or just being a great kid, a great citizen, let us know so that we can, they all have IDs, or they should. And if they're not, then don't give them a Howard Brave nomination. But, find their name out, let us know what they did. We give them shout outs all the time on the announcements just to let them know. We really want to reward and recognize when our students are doing great things. So we believe in being Howard Brave. The next thing that we do on our campus, and it was already started when we got there, was our Thursdays, we do our College and Career Day. So there's a picture of us last week in all of our College and Career shirts and T-shirts and, whatever. And they get to wear jeans. Teachers love it. That was us after like the third or fourth take when we just couldn't get ourselves together. But we have fun with each other, right? All right, so that's what we do. On Thursdays, we wear our College and Career shirts. The other thing is that we have outside of everybody's door, and we've seen it at many campuses, where we recognize the staff members, either military service or where they went to school, their college or university. A lot of times we also post what their degrees are, just so students can see that it is attainable, show them what the options are, and really to give them a personal side of us as teachers, where we are, where we went, what we were involved in. Every Thursday, it's the College and Career Day, so on our announcements, we do highlight either a career or we highlight a school, and just to kind of broaden the students' horizons, to get them thinking, globally, and where can I go, what can I do, what can I be interested in. Last week, we highlighted photography, so we had IB Photography gave us some swag that we were able to give out to our students. So we highlight colleges, we highlight careers, because we know that not every student is going to go to college. There's some that are going to just enter the workforce and become great citizens and become great contributors. So again, that's IB Photography gave us some of that stuff. And then we have colleges that give us shirts and banners and flags. And we highlight somebody every Thursday. We give out some gifts to our students when we can. And we just want them, again, to look beyond junior high, look beyond high school, and plan for their future. So that's what we do. And then the last thing that I want to do, I do want to recognize our 8th grade volleyball team. As 7th graders, they were 10-0. So far this year, they're 11-0. So they're 21-0 as a junior high group. And that's where I'm going now to watch them play, because my daughter's on that team. So congratulations to them. Sorry to take so much time.
Thank you, Dr. Cavazos. Next, I'd like to ask Brandy Pashofsky to come up.
Thank you for having me here. It is my pleasure to recognize one of my employees. It's Erin Edmondson. She serves as a special education coordinator for our district. Erin provides guidance for 9 campuses, including teachers and campus administration. She supports separate setting classrooms. She works collaboratively and supportively with district employees and is always willing to take additional responsibilities to help out our colleagues. And that's just a few things that Erin does. What impresses me most about Erin is her true passion for supporting students and their families with special needs. I know I can always depend on her to provide suggestions and guidance for campuses that are right and student-centered, and that's what's best for the student. Erin is a vital role to our department, and that is why I want to recognize her tonight and present her the Behind the Scenes Award, because so much she does is providing support, but it's behind the scenes, and just wanted her to be recognized. So thank you, Erin, for your servant leadership and supporting our students. All right. And then one more. Yeah, this is it. Oh, and And I get the opportunity as well to talk about what we're doing in our Special Pops department this year. I'm excited to be working closely this year with CNI and to create some professional development that helps with differentiated instruction in the classroom, making sure that we're meeting the needs of all learners in our classrooms. We're really excited to have that opportunity. The other thing our Special Populations Department is working on is ensuring partnerships that are positive and collaborative with our parents. So a few initiatives we've started are one, we're going to, how do I click it? There we go, sorry. Make sure it's there. Just noticed it wasn't there. It's stuck, okay. So we did talk about the great collaboration. WISD has also volunteered, thanks to Janan Hill, our lovely transition specialist, to host the Connecting the Dots Expo in April. More will be coming on that. It's for families and caregivers of students with special needs, and it's going to provide important information like mental health, intellectual disabilities, employment and training support, recreational activities. There's support groups and how to obtain guardianship and much more. We're really excited to be the ones hosting this. It's a big regional event, and can't wait for that opportunity. We are also have created a QR code that is at the end of each IEP and for all students in our district, and that's so the parents can do it in English or Spanish and give us feedback and taking this survey to show us how we can better help and support the parents and the families in the IEP process, because that can be very confusing for some that don't do that every day like we do. The other thing we've been doing, and we've gotten a lot of good feedback, and I hope that we continue to get good feedback and tweak it as we learn more about doing it. We're doing projection and presentations of drafted art documents. So when we have a face-to-face IEP meeting, we're having the projection of the drafted IEP document so the parents can actually see it and visually participate, because sometimes when you get in there and we're all talking, we know the lingo, but that can kind of be overwhelming to a family. So getting to see it in black and white on the projection screen, we're hoping helps for a more collaborative IEP. And if you're having IEP meetings through Zoom, we'll be presenting that in presentation mode where you can also see the documents. This is again to help parents have more meaningful participation and have a good IEP written for their students. So that's it. Thank you for having us.
Board, finally this evening, I'd like to ask our Human Resources team to come up. Each year in October, school districts throughout the state recognize our human resources professionals on Texas Education Human Resources Day. Our HR team is instrumental in recruiting, selecting, and retaining high-quality staff in support of providing an excellent education for all students in our district. HR also plays a key role in fostering satisfaction and loyalty among employees by allowing for professional growth and development and keeping employees informed about policies, compensation, and benefits. Our HR team is a valued and respected group of staff members that sustains one of the district's most important assets, our people. Please join me in recognizing the Waxahachie ISD HR team: Monica James, Teresa Burkhalter, Sharon Zant, Norma Salazar, Juliana Herrera, Lacey Bird, and Carolyn Baker.
Thank y'all for resourcing humans. Yes. Very much. It's just what they do.
Thank you, board.
Okay, next item will be under item 8A, under our action items, consideration and possible action to approve the purchase of 3 school buses from Thomas Built Buses for an estimate amount not to exceed $330,350. Alden?
Thanks, sir. As Mr. Autry just said, that's our one action item. We did secure 3 quotes, actually 2 quotes from approved vendors. The third decided that it did not want to provide a bid at this point. The 3 buses that we're seeking to purchase at this point are part of our normal rotation cycle, so we add 2 or 3 buses every single year to keep our fleet kind of updated and maintained, generally on about a 12 to 15 year replacement cycle for buses. So this is just a normal purchase of 3 school buses out of existing general fund monies for the school year.
So you quoted 4, but you're only asking, you only need 3 at this point?
Right now, with the funds that are available within the transportation department, there's funds for 3. If at the end of the year we have some cost underruns, we may look at a 4th bus, but right now there's 3.
I know that some buses were bought with grant funds, or is there any possibility in the future that there will be any grant funds available?
I'm not aware of any grant funds out there right now other than using some special education money to buy buses, but the downside to using those funds in that manner is that it severely limits their available use. And so it would not be my preference to use those very restricted grant funds to buy buses. But yes, as other grants become available, we will look into those. We did buy, I want to say it was 4, maybe 6 with the Volkswagen emissions grant that we had a couple of years ago. So we did do that. But yes, if additional opportunities through that grant become available, we will definitely explore those. Yes, ma'am.
So compared to fire trucks, these are relatively cheap. So that's one thing I noticed. But in my world, we use a cooperative like the Houston Galveston Area Co-op. Is that a thing in school districts?
So really, there's 3 vendors right now that make school buses. You have Bluebird, you have Thomas, and you have International or Freightliner. So there's really only 3 vendors that make school buses. There's a 4th one that's looking into getting into the market. I learned way too much about school buses recently.
Yeah, I was going to say that's what I'm just trying to learn.
Buses. There's an A, B, C, and a D. We are looking at purchasing body type C school buses, normal school bus that you always see. But there's really only 3 vendors that do that. So there's not a huge competitive market in terms of pricing on school buses. But as you say, Mr. Rogers, the price of fire truck is relatively steep. If you go back and just look like 8 years ago, the price of a school bus has really gotten steep in the last 8 to 10 years. So
You anticipate these being ready for the next school year, starting in August?
But it's my understanding through Mr. Gerke that we should be getting these, I want to say Christmas, January time, maybe even February, but we expect delivery of those this school year. It just may be later this school year.
Any other questions for Mr. Colvin?
Feel free to correct me where I'm wrong.
Good evening, Board. Dr. Hollingsworth. The best guesstimate we have is February for the delivery of those buses. As you know, there's chip shortages for new vehicles, and school buses fall under that same umbrella. So we're hopeful we'll get them by February.
At this time, I'll entertain a motion to approve action item A as presented by Mr. Colvin. Mr. Schofield.
Second.
Second by Mr. Rogers. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion carries 7-0. Okay, action item B, consideration of possible action to approve a contract for 3 speech-language pathologist positions with Laterno and Associates for an amount not to exceed $334,917 for the 2021-2022 school year.
Mr. Autry and other members, I'll just let you know that right now, the state is not only seeing a shortage of teachers, certainly in specialized areas such as special education, speech-language pathologists would certainly be an area where we've had a very difficult time filling some open positions that we have. That's led us to have to go out and contract for those services, and that's what you see here today. We did seek competitive bids on that, And this is the best price we were able to come up with to provide the greatest bang for the buck.
Okay, at this time, I'll entertain a motion to approve action item B as presented by Dr. Hollingsworth.
So moved.
Discussion? Second by Mr. Schofield. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Say nay. Carried 7-0. Item C would be consideration of possible action to accept a crepe myrtle tree and small marker to be placed outside the CTE Center in memory of Nikki Ferguson, a WHS teacher for more than a decade who passed away this summer. Taking that one?
Yes, sir. Mr. President, earlier this year, WISD lost a beloved teacher and colleague, Nikki Ferguson. Ms. Ferguson spent 12 years with Waxahachie ISD, 10 of which were as an assistant athletic trainer and CTE teacher, and 2 as a dedicated CTE teacher. Ms. Ferguson's colleagues in the WHS CTE department have purchased a crepe myrtle tree in memory of her, which will be planted near the CTE wing at Waxahachie High School. We're asking the board this evening to accept this gift in loving memory of Nikki Ferguson.
Okay, at this time, I'll entertain a motion to approve action item C as presented. Motion by Mr. Schofield, is there a second? Kriegel? Discussion? Favor say aye.
Aye.
Say nay. Motion carries 7. All right, action item D, consideration of possible action to adopt incentives for substitute pay 2021-2022 school year.
We do have, Ms. James is available if needed, but I can explain this pretty well. I will tell you that we have been looking for ways to increase the fill rate on our substitute teachers. In particular, like the rest of the state, we've seen a real shortage of substitute teachers available to us. And so really innovative way, actually I'll give Ms. Mott credit, this was her brainchild to take a creative approach toward filling substitute positions. If we can go to the next slide, Stephen. We typically pay $85 for substitute teachers. That's very much in line with our peer districts. But the proposal here is beginning November 1st, we would pay $85 for the first 5 days a substitute teacher works in WISD. For days 6 through 10, we would up that to $100 per day. And for days 11 plus, we would up that to $115 a day. We are able to do this due to ESSER funding, so I cannot tell you that this will be our long-term pay structure, but while we have the ESSER funding available, we think this is a creative way for us to hopefully improve the fill rate that we're experiencing on our campuses for substitute teachers.
I think I know the answer, but they don't have to be consecutive days. They can be, it's cumulative days per month, right?
That's correct, yes, sir, during a month. And so we would start November 1 and then consecutive months afterward. Yes, sir.
And it's cumulative of across any campus.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I guess looking at this, so days 1 through 5, they'll be paid $85, 6 through 10, $100, and then any 11 plus $115. It won't be that if you sub 11 days, you don't revert to the $115.
No, ma'am, that's a correct interpretation. 11, 12, 13, 14, and so forth would be 115.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Less the bookkeeper's part.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Monica, for y'all taking on that challenge.
Any other questions? Okay, I'll entertain a motion to approve action item D as presented. By Ms. Kriegel, second by Ms. Timmerman. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Motion carries 7-0. And now I need a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Schofield, second by Mr. Rogers. In the comment section, I think we failed to mention we have two birthdays, right? Am I right? Mr. Schofield's birthday is today, You can ask him how old he is. I know your birthday was this month. What day was your birthday? The 29th. Okay, so happy birthday to Ms. Starnader and to Mr. Schoolfield. Okay, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say nay. Motion carries.